To this important game for England. The two teams have just emerged from the tunnel. We are live. It's St Etienne the venue for us tonight, and let's hope that England can produce. They've made 6 changes, which I'll touch on in a minute or two. But in a moment or two, before we do any team news or anything of that magnitude, let's just take a check now. In fact, it will be the national anthems in just a moment or two. So let's start with the English national anthem first. Sung with tremendous gusto, tremendous passion. And now it's time for the Slovakian national anthem. So we're all set then for this game. The two teams will now shake hands, and then in a moment there will be the game. So let's make my first job tonight, as we welcome you to full match commentary of this game, is to give you the 2 lineups. We'll touch on England in a moment. Let's have a look at the Slovakian lineup. Mateusz Koziak is the goalkeeper. Petr Pekarik, Skrdl, Dusia, and number 15 Hobakan are the back 4. 5 in the midfield, starting with Vladimir Weiss for ex-Manchester City, of course. Number 17, Mari Kamtik, the big talisman, the big game player from Napoli, of course. The holding midfielder is Pekaveski, and Kuka is 19, and number 20 is Robert Mack on the right hand side, and the lone striker tonight, number 8, Duda, who got the equaliser, of course, against the Welsh. Now England, remember, they've made 6 changes. Out go Walker, Rose, Rooney, Ali, Kane and Sterling. In their place comes the likes of Ryan Bertrand, Nathaniel Klein, Danny Sturridge, Jack Wilshere, Jordan Henderson, and of course not forgetting the man of the moment, Jamie Vardy. So this is how England are going up in formation terms. Joe Hart is the goalkeeper. A back four of Klein, Smalling, Cahill and Bertrand. In the midfield, you've got 3 in the midfield with Jordan Henderson, Eric Dyer and Jack Wilshere there, and a 3 up front there with Jamie Vardy leading the line in the centre, with Lallana and Sterling. Not Sterling, but Sturridge providing whip on the wings. Gary Cahill, in fact, is the captain. The referee tonight is Carlos Velasco Caballero of Spain. The assistant referees are Roberto Alonso, Jan Luest of Spain, Jesus Q Maranzo of Spain, Carlos Del Corrado. They're the two assistants behind each goal. And the fourth official tonight comes from Italy, Antonio D'Amato. 18 degrees centigrade. The pitch is fantastically excellent. There's about 65% humidity in Saint Etienne as the countdown to kick-off begins. It's going to be England in the red. Red shirts, white shirt, red shirts and dark socks. And Slovakia rowing right as well. As the game gets underway, England kicking off, by the way. So Roy Hodgson making 6 changes. They can afford to draw this game tonight and still go through. We'll also keep you up to date with what happens in the other game being played over in Toulouse between Russia and Wales. Let's hope that the Welsh can do a tremendous job tonight, and it would be a tremendous night for British football. Early goal kick for Slovakia. Mateusz Kuziak will take. The captain is Martin Skrdl, who should really be seen in a 3-match ban, thanks to the refereeing, incompetence of the refereeing in the Welsh game, where there was certainly a blatant elbow used on Johnny Williams of Wales, and then a foul there, and I think the Slovakian is looking for it there. It was number 2 Pekarik. He just went down in a heap. There was a little touch there from Lallana, but nothing to warrant a decision like that. Well, if England can get the 3 points, they'll go to 7 points. Just a draw again would take them to 5. But they could still be caught there by the Welsh if they do get a result there against the Russians tonight. Then they would top the group. Here's Lallana now down the near side for England, all in red of course. Cross coming in towards the penalty area. Vardy and Sturridge of course were working in the centre, and that will go for a throw. Bertrand just letting that one go there. In 3 meetings internationally between these two sides, England have won every one of them. 2 under Sven-Göran Eriksson's time as England manager. And of course, in a friendly game, Wayne Rooney got 2 goals in a 4-0 victory at Wembley in their last meeting in 2009. But in the 2 games that Spain overlooked in 2004 qualifying, they won 2-1 home and away. But Slovakia have a bit about them, but so too have England. Ball out towards Bertrand, near side, the left hand side, a good little cross in there. For a moment then I thought there was another ball coming on, but there was a balloon there from behind, but it's not gone on the field of play. I noticed there during the anthems that Prince Eliam, the president of the Football Association, he was sat next to Greg Dyke, who was the outgoing chairman of the FA. And well, it's a big night for these lads. Joe Hart getting the verdict in goal even after his error of judgment against Gareth Bale in that Welsh match, which put the Welsh one up, if you remember, in Lens. It's a throw though to Slovakia. No, it's not. It's been given the other way. The referee from Spain deciding that was a throw the other way. So Nathaniel Klein of Liverpool will take it. It's a big selection process with Roy to leave out Wayne Rooney. I have to say, Wayne Rooney, the talisman, he has been the captain. It's certainly impressed. Kyle Walker being left out. I don't know whether they're being rested for future battles, but England really do need a good result here, a good positive feel-good factor. And if England can get a win, I mean, it could go the opposite. It could go the glass half full way for Roy Hodgson tonight if England were to win the game. One where they really do have to watch is Mary Kamsik, of course, and he is a real dynamo in that midfield area. I've seen him for so many years destroy teams in Serie A and Europe with Napoli. Certainly in the Champions League, he looks a real player. And he'll be one they have to watch. Of course, Duda, who got the equaliser against Wales, he's another one that they've really got to watch out for there. And of course, not forgetting Vladimir Weiss, who scored in the victory over Russia, as well as Hamsik when they beat Russia 2-1. So plenty of good attacking talent down there for the Slovaks. But England are a different proposition to what Russia will be, certainly tonight. Here's Bertrand now on the left hand side for England. Into Eric Dyer, who's had a good steady tournament so far. He's been the first name on Roy Hodgson's team list, and I've got to be honest with you, I think he's always a shoe-in now. A chance here for Clyde again, a good cross in there, and a wonderful ball in, and really that first bit of trouble that he's caused the Slovaks, and Barley just couldn't get on the end of the cross. In fact he did get on the end of it, but he kneed it rather than prodded it forward, and in fact he kneed it not too far over the bar. A good start from England, 5 minutes gone, and Jamie Vardy, from the looks of things, looks absolutely bang up for this one tonight. He has been for every England international he's started in, after a tremendous season at Leicester City, where he finished up as second top scorer behind Harry Kane, who was rested tonight. He didn't have the greatest 2 games against Russia or Wales, to be fair, although if you play devil's advocate, he didn't really get the service he desperately required. And Slovakia, well, we know what to expect. They can shop the odd time or so. Remember them knocking Italy out of the World Cup 6 years ago. So they know a little bit about them. As Weiss now, the ex-Manchester City man, takes it up. Shot coming in from almost 30-odd yards. And it's over the top. It was from Peter Perkowski. And it's a goal kick to England. Never troubling Joe Hart or the goal for that matter. In fact, it was high, wide, and not so handsome from the Slovaks' point of view, but very handsome from England and Joe Hart's point of view. Chris Moy now, the England defender, going alongside Gary Cahill, an unchanged centre-back pairing. John Stones is still waiting to get his chance. So too is Ross Barkley, incidentally. And the England fans singing God Save the Queen. And that's a good ball over the top though. And Slovakia now have it. And it was Hobogan who played it in now. Marek Hamšík with the mohawk. The Mr. T type haircut, trying to play it in towards Duda in the penalty area. He just slipped as he tried to nod the ball into his own path, and he couldn't succeed in doing so. And the ball played back to Koziak, the Slovakian goalkeeper. England certainly marginally the better team after just 7 minutes, but let's hope there's plenty of goals in this one tonight. And well, it was a disappointment, the game we covered last night, 0-0. We failed to bring you a goal for the first time in the commentary in this tournament when we've been doing the commentary games. The rest of the games I've commentated on have always had goals in them, and usually more than one. One ball over the top. That's a good ball now, and Vardy's in behind the defence, but he's got no support, so he's had to drift out to the right hand side, and he's found Henderson. Henderson now having to turn away from his defender. Over on the far side, England right. Cross got a deflection on it, and Klein was in there. So too is Vardy. So too is Sturridge inside the 6-yard box. Goalkeeper comes and gets and takes a knock for his troubles. And Slovakia there defensively were in a bit of a pickle, and England was so unfortunate not to really take advantage of that. Couple of crosses there, one, and a cross that got deflected. It caused all sorts of confusion. Vardy's flicked on, and if Sturridge had been there first, well, it could have been a dream start for England. It was a great block, incidentally, by the number 2 there, Pekarik. Did very, very well, I have to say. And then the goalkeeper took a knock under pressure from Jamie Vardy for his troubles. In fact, I think he gave it a free kick to Slovakia there, so it is a free kick taken by the goalkeeper. KO with a very authoritative header back, but Slovakia win it now in a good old game of head tennis, and it comes to Adam Lallana, beaten to it in the end by Marek Hamšík, the man with the Mr. T haircut. And the difference between him and Mr. T is that he doesn't have a big beard. He's always used that hairstyle throughout his footballing career. Marek Hamsik, very talented individual, but I would say one thing about him: he's always stayed loyal to Napoli when there was big money moves for him to go elsewhere. 10 minutes gone here in St Etienne. Slovakia 0, England 0. Martin Skrtel, who should really be, in my opinion, receiving a 3-match ban after his silly antics in the first game against Wales, when he absolutely elbowed Johnny Williams in front of the fourth official. I'm surprised UEFA didn't really take strong action against the Slovakian captain, to be fair. But he's been allowed to play on. I mean, if you look at it now objectively, if it was a FIFA competition, no doubt at all he'd be suspended for this game. And the coach for Slovakia, there he is. His name, Jan Kozak. And there's been a bit of development here in the Russia-Wales game, because the ball played forward and a chance there, and it was been taken by Aaron Ramsey of Wales. So Aaron Ramsey has put Wales on top of the group as things stand now, and it means now England really have to get a grip on themselves. But Russia trail Wales. Wales were playing in the red shirts there. I've just seen a picture. He's just gone right through there, and a great finish there by Aaron Ramsey. We'll keep you up to date, by the way, of the Welsh game. All these final group games being played simultaneously, and hopefully to avoid a repeat of certain match fixing like the 1982 World Cup game, which was the final group game of the round robin in Germany and Austria's group. They had to play each other in the final match after everything else had been played, knowing that a 1-0 German victory took both teams through. And it was, I mean, if you watched the whole game, you'd be falling asleep, quite frankly. There was one shot on target between them, and that was the goal scored by Horst Rubesch, and he just kept kicking it to each other. And this is where FIFA had to change the rules. I mean, there was a strong argument, I believe, at the time that both Germany and Austria should have been kicked out of the World Cup at that time, but they were allowed to go on. In fact, in Germany's case, they went on to the final, and the Italians gave them their comeuppance, and Paolo Rossi gave them a comeuppance aplenty in the final. But it's Wales 1, Russia 0, and it's Slovakia 0, England 0. So as things stand, the Welsh top the group. They have 6 points, England have 5 at the moment as things stand. Slovakia lying third. Well, if it does end that way. But here come England now. Good play now. Lallana with the shot, just on the edge of the D. England attacking the goal to the left, and it was just wide of the far post. There's Prince William, the president of the Football Association, alongside Craig Dyke, who's the FA chairman, of course. He was leaving his role after these championships. As we see a replay of Adam Lallana's left-footed shot. Just wide there. Martin Skrtel, his Liverpool colleague, watching on it rather anxiously there as that ball skidded past the Slovakian post. Here's Weiss now on the far side for Slovakia. Infield now to Papageski. And here's a chance now for the Slovaks with Mack on the far side, on the near side, sorry. And Kuka finding number 4, Kuka. And a good ball now down the near far side here. And it's Marek Hamsik. He digs out a decent looking cross, but unfortunately for him, there was nobody in white waiting in the middle, and England can breathe a huge sigh of relief. And the goal kick it is to Joe Hart in England. Decent cross though for Marek Hamsik, even despite the fact there was nobody really gambling inside the 6-yard box for the Slovakians. Here's Wiltshire now for England. His inclusion raised a few eyebrows, and I don't know what that was intended for. Certainly Bertrand wasn't on the same wavelength. But going away again, I was surprised that Rooney wasn't starting, because Rooney has been the talismanic captain. So this is the Group B table as it stands. Wales would have 6 points with a +1 goal difference. England have got the same goal difference with 5 points. Slovakia have 4 and Russia have 1. So Slovakia would have to, if it was to stay the same, they would be sweating on qualification as one of the best third place teams. There's 4 of them go through out of the 6 groups. The 2 with the lowest amount of points and goal difference are on the plane home. Here's Lallana inside the penalty area. Decent looking cross. Controlled brilliantly in the area by Henderson. The shot got a deflection off a defender, and it will be a corner for England. That's much better. I don't know whether they got wind of the Welsh result at the moment. And I hope people are tuning in. Hi to everybody we are trying to commentate more on the game. I've just got to try and describe what I'm seeing at the moment. I've got to keep the breathing going. But enjoy the game, enjoy the ride. Hi to Reece folks. And Wales are doing tremendously well at the moment. Can England get themselves in front? It's from the corner, it is. Smalling flicking it on. It's not half away yet. In fact, the whistle hasn't gone. England just showing the pace down a little bit. Bertrand has it now for England. Now back it goes to Dyer. Dyer plays it in towards the penalty area. Smalling was attacking it. The whistle has gone for an offside decision and a free kick to Slovakia. And that will be a bit of a relief to them, because they were on the back foot. In fact, it was a push by Smalling on Pekarek. It looked a tad harsh to me, but the referee was on the spot from Spain. Let's just hope that the referee has a good match tonight. The referee in the previous 2 matches I've covered, the Belgian game and the Belgian Republic game, and then the French game last night, were not entirely satisfactory refereeing performances. But less about the referee. Here's Vardy, shoots, good save by the goalkeeper. He stood up big, and England have been denied. Great save from Kozieckis to deny Jamie Vardy. Big goalkeeper stood up bravely. And Vardy in that sort of form, you'd have backed him 99 times out of 100 to have buried that one. Raced through the middle, it was a long ball over the top. And now Weiss has it on the other end now, trying to pick out number 8 there, Duda, who's the main striker there. Ball back to Joe Hart. Hart kicks over the turf, and Vardy tries to win that header, and he doesn't do so. Well, let's hope these first 20 minutes, the first 20 minutes have been brilliant. Pekarek now forward for Slovakia. And this game now really starting to come to the boil. And now a chance now for Petrobetsky to get the ball forward, but it's been knocked away again by the English defence. Now Skirtle. Skirtle finds his defensive partner Dukiera. Bertrand winning the header quite well. No foul there. And the ball out of play. Kuka puts that out. And Pekarek complaining there was an elbow used by Ryan Bertrand. I'm not sure. Well, there's blood streaming down from his face. There's laser pens being shown in his face. Let's have a look. Well, he's got eyes on the ball, Bertrand. You can't really say that's a genuine elbow. He's just going for the ball. He's there to be one. He's not in any way, shape or form looking at the man. As we see the opportunity there for Vardy, he got the pace on Vardy's Skirtle. He just hit it straight at the goalkeeper. Maybe he'd have been advised just to go round him maybe, and took it in that way. But he did very well to outpace Vardy's Skirtle. He was a very tough but compromising centre-back, as we all know. Never really gives too much away, but Vardy will know that's a good chance, but England have got to just stay with it. And another player has gone down injured in the middle of the field. Gary Cahill, the England captain. And it might be a stretcher job here. John Stones is the other available centre-back. I think Cahill's okay to continue, but Pekarek is in a lot of discomfort there. His nose, well, it must have been broken here, and we've got some guys. Brendan Hayes, well, good afternoon there. Good to see Vardy on the pitch. Hello, Brandon. Hello there. Greetings all the way from England to Canada. Australia as well. We've got some people in from Australia. Perth from Australia. Good afternoon to Pete from Perth. Good afternoon to you there. Or good evening. Yeah, good afternoon. It's good evening where we are. And it's good to see people from Australia and Canada watching there. Great to see. Another one from Daniel Allen, Manitoba in Canada. Well, great. It's good to see the England fans and everybody enjoying this around the world, this commentary. It is being beamed around the world, by the way. We've got another development here in the Russia-Wales game over in Toulouse, and it looks as if Wales are going to take a 2-goal lead, as you'll see here in a minute or two. I'm just watching the action, and what an opportunity this was for the second goal to go in, and there it is. Ryan Taylor of Swansea makes it 2-0 to Wales, and as things stand there, cruising into the last 16, Chris Coleman's side, and that hangover from the England defeat, well and truly worn off now for the Welsh. They are flying into the last 16. Chris Coleman's men, and they're really taking the game by the looks of things to the Russians, who now look down and out. They're a poor side, really, Russia, and Wales making them look like a dog and duck on a Sunday morning by the looks of things there in Toulouse. And at the moment in Saint Etienne, no goals, but plenty of. But the big chance falling really to Jamie Vardy, who hit the ball straight at the Slovakian goalkeeper. So as it stands, Wales have a better goal difference. But if England can get 3 points tonight, they'll still get 7 points. And Pekarek's nose is still being tended to here. There's about 3 or 4 Slovakian backroom staff tending to this blood injury. Purely accidental, because Bertrand could not have seen him coming. He only had eyes for the ball, as you saw in the replay, if you're watching it on the TV monitor. Meanwhile, Scudder plays a 60-yard pass, trying to look for Vladimir Weiss, and he can't succeed in doing so. Vladimir Weiss, of course, started his career at Manchester City, doing surplus to requirements when the Arabs took over. The Arab sheikhs took over, and well, he's had to rebuild his career from here on in. So here come England now with Wiltshire over the halfway line. Here's Henderson now. Henderson to Sturridge. Sturridge just can't get into the game at the moment. And here's an opportunity now for the Slovakians to break away halfway through the first half. 0-0 in Saint Etienne. 2-0 to Wales in Toulouse. If you joined us late. And here come Slovakia. Still, I think, a man down with Peter Pekarek receiving treatment for possibly a nosebleed, maybe even more serious than that. May have broken his nose. There was plenty of medical staff there from the Slovakian camp tending to that blood injury. The ball's gone out of play on the far side, and it will be an England throw because Obakan couldn't keep that ball in play. So England 0-0, and at the moment, can you give a shout out to Matty and Tommy listening in New York? Come on, you Lions. Yes, we can. New York being represented as the Slovakians play a low ball into the penalty area. Marek Hamsik was waiting in the centre. Petarek is now back on the field. He's rejoined us. Petarek now plays the ball back. And now England win it. And they had to win it. And now here's a chance for Vardy. He'll run at these England defenders. And he was dropped down quite crudely there. And showing that will be the first yellow card of the game for Pekarevsky. It was a clear hack. And it was a free kick all the way, and a yellow card to the Slovakian midfield player, the holding midfield player on the Slovakian side. He knew what he was doing. Vardy had too much in the way of pace for him. And Vardy, though, to be fair, the battle of years offered his hand and get on with the game. And England have a great position here from about 35-40 yards out. Jordan Henderson up behind this one. Klein, I think, wants a piece of it as well. Goalkeeper erected a two-man wall. Could be Henderson with the left foot. He's been back. He's been chipped into the penalty area. Goalkeeper takes it at the second attempt. Surprised he took the free kick, Bertrand, to be fair, but he wasn't a very good free kick, and a waste of a set piece from England. who take the ball unfairly according to the Spanish referee, and it's not going down too well with some of the English fans. Well, Wayne Rooney and Kyle Walker looking on there. Could they have stayed in the England side? That's something for you guys to debate as the game goes on, and the longer it goes on at 0-0, the more it plays into Slovakia's hands. They are a decent outfit, as they showed in the first two games, the defeat to Wales and that comfortable win over Russia. But it doesn't take a lot to beat the Russians these days unless you're English. Oh, that's a clear foul there, and has to be a foul there on Bertrand. He's giving it the other way. In fact, he's giving it in favour of Kuka. Must have been an obstruction there by Bertrand, but I'm sure that Kuka ran into Bertrand and knocked Bertrand off his stride. Let's have a look at it again. Well, I'm sorry, but I think that's a free kick to England. And don't accuse me of being biased or anything. I'm just basing the game on what I think is right and what I see, and I base it on what I see goals, really. Here's Marek Hamsik, the danger man, and he was also tagged. A little bit softly, I thought, by Jamie Vardy. And the Spanish referee needs to get a grip on this. We've seen some poor refereeing. The last two commentary games I've covered, we have seen some appalling refereeing decisions. The decision by the Turkish referee not to give Ireland a clear penalty at 0-0 in the Belgian game was one of the most baffling decisions I've seen at the Championship so far. And fantastic banter going on between the guys listening in. Keep going, lads. We want. Here's a little verdict for you. Should Wayne Rooney have started and Kyle Walker have started? Let me know in the comment section, in the chat section, to the right of the screen, screen, and we'll read out some of the best ones, of course, once we get a break in play. Back to the footy, says Brandon Hayes. And why not? Now Dyer playing the ball forward. It's always good to interact with everybody there, your listeners and your viewers and everything else on YouTube. It's a really good way to do the commentaries on this. It really beats listening to the likes of Robbie Savage and one or two others. Here's Chris Smalling now for England. Finds Ryan Bertrand. Bertrand now forced to play back to Smalling, deep inside his own half. Now a chance now for Gary Cahill, the England captain, to put forward, and he finds Klein, a little back heel there, brilliantly done by Sturridge into the path of Henderson. The two Liverpool colleagues combining, and look at Klein making a break down the near side. That was down the far side. That was brilliantly done, and he's conceded a corner off the Mohawked Marek Hamsik, and it's a corner kick to England, and this is where they've got to make it count. Plenty will be forwards. You can bet your bottom dollar Smalling and Cahill will be up from the back for this one. Jordan Henderson on corner duty tonight. Harry Kane took the corners in the first match. Rooney took the corners against the Welsh on Thursday. Henderson on a good corner again. Didn't clear the first man, although Vardy was in that position. Vardy was easily out-jumped. Still no breakthrough yet. Sturridge now is switched to the left-hand side. And England need to be a bit more positive on the ball. And Roy Hodgson's side really making heavy weather of this. Free kick to England. Just about 5 yards inside the Slovakian half. He's taken quickly to Wiltshire. Now onto Dyer on the halfway line. Finds Gary Cahill. Cahill plays it over to the far side, and Nathaniel Klein over there now. And the ball played back. Now Dyer takes over. He just says to his captain, "Leave it to me, Gary. I'll get us going again." Here's Danny Sturridge, 10 yards inside the Slovakian half, looking for support. He's got it there with Jordan Henderson, and what a lovely ball that is by Henderson. Can England keep it alive? The ball towards Jack Wilshere, couldn't quite get on the end of it. Good move again by, lovely ball forward by Henderson towards the right hand channel. It asked a lot of Clyde to keep it in. He did so magnificently. And here he is again. And a good ball forward. Vardy chips in there, chips a little chip in there towards Vardy from the right hand side, and the goalkeeper couldn't take a chance. And England now starting to knock on the door. Bertrand to take the throw here for England. Two balls have gone on the field, and that's why Bertrand was a bit frustrated he couldn't get on with the game quickly. Lallana has it now. Here's a chance for Wiltshire. Thought he might have lined it up on his right foot. Henderson has it. He's got Klein out on the far side, and Klein will run at that defence again, maybe. Crossing from the far side, and it's into touch for a goal kick. And another chance wasted. It was Jordan Henderson with the cross, and it was a disappointing one. Better from England. Absolutely better from Roy Hodgson, from Roy Hodgson's team. That wasn't Roy Hodgson you were watching there. That was Jan Kozak, the Slovakian coach. And Slovakia would be certain to go through with a victory. So England could still end up finishing third in the group as a best third place team. So any of the three situations could happen. And so far so good as far as the Slovaks are concerned. Wales winning 2-0 after 30 minutes. Goals from likely sources. Aaron Ramsey and Neil Taylor of Swansea have given Wales a 2-0 lead. Who needs Gareth Bale? Ball forward up towards Bice, who can't keep that in play, and it's a throw to England. So at the moment 0-0, and really this game starting to come to the boil a little bit here. Russia 0, Wales 2, as I say. But England really could do with a goal to get themselves up and running again. It's been hard going, heavy work against this Slovakian backline, but it is doable. Joe Hart, really, to be fair, hasn't had anything at all to do other than goal kicks away down the field at the moment. He hasn't had anything to do in the goal to the right. And so far, England looking assured at the back. And Welcher now over the halfway line. Good play there from England. Referee playing the advantage. Lallana now. Can England make this advantage count? Sturridge tries the shot. It's charged down. It was a left-footed shot from about 30 yards. It was charged down on the edge of the D. England now knocking on the door. Welcher has it from Dyer. Welcher now over way inside the penalty in the half of the Slovakian half. Sorry. And now it's back to halfway and Smalling. And England now just playing the ball back. And the Slovakians, to quote Jose Mourinho's line, is part of the park of the bus. But wait, here's a chance. Lallana shoots. Good save by the goalkeeper. Nope. It was a bit acrobatic, but it did the job. Kuziak made a fantastic save. Lallana struck it with all his might, but if there was any criticism against the England man, he struck it too close to the goalkeeper, perhaps. Straight at him, and maybe England... He maybe should have been advised to go for both corners, but England are making chances, but the goalkeeper for Slovakia here is having an inspired match. Here's Sturridge chipping it in there towards the penalty area, and it will be a corner to England. Good defending there by Hokan. But really Lallana with his right foot should be hitting the target. He hit the target, but should be aiming for the far corner perhaps. It's easy for me to say. Prince William knows that was a glorious opportunity there. Corner kick to England. Jordan Henderson to take it. Takes it short now. Henderson again chips it towards the back post, but it's too overhit and into touch for a throw to a goal kick roller to Slovakia. 33 minutes gone. Slovakia 0, England 0 with Ultra Frame. Your home, our passion. And Wales 2 up against the Russian so-and-sos. I'm not going to say what they are. Well, the Russian team aren't, folks. The supporters have been. Daniel Owen makes a good point. England need to take shots, make the goalkeeper feel a bit uneasy. And at the moment it's 0-0. England looking comfortable in defence, but at the moment in attack they're just not being able to break this sturdy Slovakian defence down. Bertrand knocks it out of touch. And this game really coming to the boil now. But it needs a goal. Can England provide one? Here's Lallana can't win the ball, but it might break for Bardi. Bardi now over halfway. Lallana now taking over down the left-hand side. He needs support in the middle, just Bardi and Sturridge. It comes to Wiltshire now on the edge of the area. Wiltshire can't quite thread it past the defenders. And in the end, the attack breaks down, and all England get out of it is a throw as we come up towards the final 10 minutes of the first half. You know the rules now at half-time. We take a 10-minute break, refresh and rejuvenate, and then the second half will begin on another stream on the same channel, of course, for the second half, and then it's as you were. So stay with us. We will be back in 10 minutes once the half-time whistle goes, and I'm sure there's going to be at least 3 minutes added on because of the injury to Pekamek in the earlier on. It's Lallana tries the shot from the edge of the D, breaks to Sturridge, who's offside. The ball's gone out for a goal kick anyway, but the flag had gone up straight away from the Spanish officials because Sturridge, according to the officials anyway, was standing in an offside position. Vardy certainly wasn't. He had the first Everton Sturridge there. You can, if you've got a monitor as well, you're watching it on. It was clearly at least 2, maybe 3 yards offside, and that's been the frustration for England, really. No breakthrough yet, but we said that against the Welsh, and we said that against the Russians. It took them 70 minutes to break down the Russians. It took them the best part of 10 minutes into the second half to break down the Welsh, even though they beat them 2-1. And maybe Harry Kane will be wondering now. Well, plenty of swear words going on there. Please don't swear. Enjoy the game. Comment if you like, but please do not swear. And so, please do not swear. England are S-word mates. I'm not going to say tier 3 team, that's better, but please do not swear. Otherwise, it's because we are trying to make it. It's for the family, really. It's a family show. Free kick, meanwhile, to England. 10 yards inside the Slovakian half. Just to the right of the touchline. And England now have it with Dyer. Dyer again to Smalling now over the halfway line. Infield to Sturridge. Sturridge now looking for runners. Plenty forward for England if they can pick the right passes through, but there's so many Slovakians. I count 2, 4, 6, 8 back there defending like lions there, and at the moment there just seems to be no breakthrough at the moment. Vardy trying to get in there, and again the Slovakians win the ball. They have been very good at breaking up the play, let's be honest, but England need to do a lot better, and I do question some of Roy Hodgson's decisions. I think Rooney needs to come on in the second half. I don't think Jack Wilshire's had a good game, to be fair. He's only had 70. The thing with Wilshere is he's had 70 minutes football competitively for his club, and I still don't see the logic. I don't want to knock Roy Hodgson because he pulled off some tactical masterstrokes against the Welsh, but I'm afraid to say these 6 changes aren't working as yet. Maybe about to be proved wrong. Here's Sturridge inside the penalty area. Yields a corner. And England now, if they can make things count now before half time, there's about 7 minutes of the first half plus stoppage time to go. Sturridge tried to control it. He didn't have great support and he had to do what he could, and to be fair, he did very well to win the corner. Jordan Henderson now needs a better corner. The last one didn't really reach the first man from the far side. This one nearly needs to count big time. Plenty forward in red, but there's also plenty back in white. Henderson with the corner for the red of England towards Dyer that time. Henderson might get a second chance. He will do. Plays it to Sturridge. Sturridge now ambles into the area. Shakes off one challenge. Still plenty of Slovakians back. He manages to get the crossing from the right hand side of the penalty area, and Slovakia scramble it away and now win the ball. And they're not making it easy for England, and here's Pekamek now, the man who was in the walls earlier on, and he's got Mack out to the right hand side. Mack cuts in field. This is a good breakout here from Slovakia. This is Vladimir Weiss. Little flick forward. Here's Hamsik. Can't thread it through. The attack breaks down momentarily. Petrick again. Plays the ball back. Skirtle. Skirtle turns it on. And he gets the ball back again from Pekarecki. Now Marikamchik on halfway inside the centre circle. Plays a 1-2 and then plays it back to Skirtle, the captain, who should be serving a 3-match ban if UEFA had have acted on video evidence for a clear elbow on Johnny Williams in the first game against the Welsh. He's a tough defender, but he also crosses that competitive line of what you do and don't. What you do is be competitive, but don't be ultra competitive, and that is what Skirtle is. He's also over the top. He's a very good defender. Liverpool fans, I'm sure, will concur for me. He has been for many, many years, but occasionally he really does go over the top, and he went over the top against Johnny Williams, and how UEFA haven't sanctioned him with a 3-match ban on video evidence really irritates me, quite honestly. The ball comes back. Wilshere now on the edge. Oh, that's a poor ball from Wilshere. What was he doing? There was space for him to have a shot, and he gave the ball away so carelessly. It was unbelievable. Less than 5 minutes to go to half time, and now Sturridge has kept that in on the far side. The England right. Now it's in field. Still England have it in their own half, and Dyer now finds Sturridge. Sturridge now has got 2 up in support. One of them is Lallana. He's tried to dab it out to the right. Now here's a chance for for Klein rather. Finds his colleagues Henderson. Henderson to Dyer. Dyer now looking for support here, and he's found it with Adam Lallana here. Midway inside the Slovakian half, but the Slovakians have pulled so many men back. Now Jack Wilshere was careless a moment or two back with a pass that went astray when it could have been suitable for his right foot, maybe, to get a right foot behind it and really test the goalkeeper. Here's Eric Dyer now. The game now being played in the Slovakian half. The attack breaks down. The ball was poor, and now England have to do some defending. To be fair to England, they haven't had to do too much defending. But Vardy's wonderful. Oh, that's surely going to be a yellow card. That is going to be a yellow card for Kuka, because that looked like a rugby tackle on Vardy, and that would have gone down well at Twickenham and Merrifield. But here, that should be a yellow card. It's a clear denying of Vardy going further forward, and for me, that should be a yellow card offence. But I think he's going to get a talking to and no more. But England, however, do have a free kick. But it looked like, from first glance, that was a beautiful tackle there, and it was something in the realms of what Johnny Wilkinson would do day in, day out. Free kick to England. Bertrand and Henderson over the ball. And it's Henderson now whipping it in. It's a poor ball again. The set plays from England have been diabolical in the first half. Henderson on corners especially. And on that free kick he was poor. But he gets another chance from Welch's pass. 66% possession we've had in the last 15 minutes. And we've had 3 attempts and 3 corners, but yet nothing to show for it. This has got to be better from England as far as I'm concerned. Wilshere has it. He's not had his best game, but he's found Lallana with his passing. He asked a lot of him. It's not a good ball. We need to get Wilshere off, I think, at half time. I don't know what you guys on the stream think. Adam Lallana has a good foot. Well, they're talking about Wayne Rooney and Gareth Bale's haircut. But at the moment it's still 0-0. And here come England. They have to pray. They can't afford to miss chances now. And here comes Klein. Gets the cross. A lot of deflection on it. Vardy trying again on the end of it. Couldn't get his neck muscles in there. Bertrand lifts it back into the mix once again. And shot comes in. It's well charged down. And was there any appeals? I don't know whether there was a handball there. The ball seemed to ricochet away. It was a great block if it was. It was a great shot. I think it was Wilshere struggling on the edge of the penalty box. But still no cigar for England. They can't break this Slovakian side down. 0-0. Wales winning 2-0. No change there in Toulouse. Here is Sturridge for England inside the last minute of the first half. Sturridge now goes past the defender. Good challenge. They appeal handball, the England fans. Spanish referee unmoved. Here's Lallana for England. To Dyer. Dyer now to Klein rather. Klein chips it in. Ball in towards Henderson. Slovakian half-heartedly appeal for handball. Never going to be given. And England keeping possession, but looking at how many Slovakians are back, and there's plenty of them back, and it's frustrating England. And Roy Hodgson has to change something now because his 4-3-3 is clearly not working. I don't know how you guys think of it listening to the game at home, but I have to be honest with you. England have found this Slovakian team a real match here at the moment. And here comes Petermek now, gets the cross in, and England now didn't do with it. Oh, Dyer knocked it half in the air and Smalling had to bail him out. We've played 45 minutes in Saint Etienne, and there's only going to be surprisingly the 1 minute of added on time, and I'm surprised at that. Slovakia get a decision, and England now being frustrated here. Well, if that's a foul, then I'm sorry, but the referee's got that wrong. No, I don't think it was a foul. It was just... Well, 0-0 is the score, and to be quite honest, England should be in front at the moment. But if we hadn't have made 6 changes, I think more than certainly would have been in front. And we've lacked ideas without the likes of Rooney and Walker on the ball. Jack Wilshere, I believe, in my opinion, needs to come off at half-time. He has not lived up to the mustard. Jordan Henderson's delivery from set place has been absolutely diabolical. We played 1 minute, the referee has blown up, and Slovakia will be the happier of the two sides. They've got in there with a clean sheet, very much intact there at the moment. The best chance really falling to Jamie Vardy. It was a great shot hit by Jordan Henderson, in fact, and a great block in the face. Dukia, let's give him credit there. It was a great block, because that might have been going in from Jordan Henderson. But England really being frustrated here at half time. Let's check a few of the comments before we take a 5-minute break. And at the moment it's Slovakia 0, England 0, and at the moment Wales 0, England 2. And Pete says, can you say the pitch position for the action? It helps me imagine the game more. I'll try my best for you, Pete, in the second half. I did try and say whereabouts in the pitch it is, so I've got to just... I've tried to keep one eye on the game and one eye on the thing. But thank you very much for watching. Be sure we're going to end the stream at half time, so we will be back in about 5-10 minutes time, and then we will be back with the second half in 10 minutes. So we're going to take a quick break, after which the second half of England against Slovakia. But half time then, at half time at the moment, it's England 0, Slovakia 0. We'll see you back here on this YouTube channel in 10 minutes from now.